Hi, I'm Align, and in the next 6 minutes, you're going to discover why everything you think you know about building muscle for skinny guys is actually keeping you in the same scrawny body and killing your ability to ever transform your physique. I'm going to show you why following advice from so-called fitness gurus on the internet, bodybuilding magazines, and your big buff buddy are actually murdering your chances of building any muscle. In this short presentation, which won't be up for long, you'll discover the 3 biggest mistakes that you're making right now that are disabling your chances at ever building eye-popping muscle, and how one strange trick will skyrocket your anabolic hormone levels instantly, causing you to build muscle in your sleep without putting on any unsightly fat and look better than the guys you've been taking advice from all these years. No matter if you think your metabolism is too fast, no matter if you think you were cursed with skinny genetics that don't allow you to grow, you'll be growing like weeds in a time lapse. No matter how many other fitness plans you've tried and failed with, and no matter if you spent hours in the gym 5 days a week for years without gaining a single pound of muscle. In fact, if you follow what I show you in this video and put it into action, like hundreds of guys before you, your friends won't believe their eyes. Your chest and arms will pop out of your clothes and you'll never go unnoticed again. Hot chicks at the bar will ask to squeeze your biceps while other guys stare with envy. Sexy women will look at you as a man they can feel safe with and not some little boy who can't stick up for them. And your confidence will be through the roof as you start turning heads in every room you walk in. You may be asking yourself, who's this guy and why should I believe what he's saying? My name's Alan Gonzalez, and I'm a lot like you, or at least I used to be. Let me share my story. I'm sure it's a lot like yours. Ever since I was in high school, I was always the smallest guy in the class. I was always really into sports, but never big enough to play. Sad part was, I was actually pretty good. But it was hard for the coaches to ever look past my bony body and give me a shot. Forward a few years later, I noticed my friends were becoming more muscular, confident, and successful. But me? Zilch. Nothing. Nada. I didn't grow, lost confidence, and hovered around the same 115 pounds forever. Yeah, that was me. Pretty embarrassing. I was a 23-year-old man living in the body of a 16-year-old boy. This caused me to become very insecure around women because I felt like all they noticed was my scrawny arms, puny wrist, and pathetic bird chest. When I went on dates, which was hardly ever, I hated going anywhere there was a big crowd, mainly because I felt like she would feel uncomfortable to be seen with some skinny geek who looked like he could be her little brother. I can remember on more than one occasion a guy hitting on my date right in front of me. Their excuse was always, I thought he was your little brother. Do you know how embarrassing that was? I mean, I could only imagine how she felt. I wanted respect. I wanted to be looked at as a man. I didn't want to be a bodybuilder. I simply wanted to be able to fill in my clothes. Heck, if I wanted clothes to fit me how I wanted them to fit, I was forced to take the walk of shame down the boys section. At that point, my confidence, or lack thereof, was destroying my life slowly. But it wasn't until one devastating day that I decided I was going to take action. My friend Brian called and asked me if I was interested in going on a blind date with his girlfriend's friend Michelle. He said she was my type and that he thinks we would hit it off. I didn't hesitate. I was in. He gave me her phone number and we text messaged each other a little before meeting. A few days later, and it was time. I was picking Michelle up for our blind date. This girl was smoking hot. Dark brown hair, light skin, big light brown eyes. She was definitely in great shape. When this girl got into my car, I couldn't stop thanking Brian. In my head, of course. I decided I would take her to a semi-fancy restaurant in hopes to impress her a little. The date went amazing. I had her laughing the whole night. We flirted, she told me about her family, and we even shared some deep conversation. After dinner, we even hung out in my car outside of her house for an hour, just getting to know each other. Unfortunately, the night had to come to an end. The next day I sent her a text to see how her day was going. No response. Long story short, A week passed by and I still hadn't heard from her. And that's when I got the call from Brian. "Dude, Michelle said you were super cool, but you're not her type. She said you were just too skinny and that she needs more of a man that's going to make her feel safe." One thing about Brian, he never sugarcoated anything. And that was the day that I decided enough was enough. Things are going to change. I started taking all types of weight gain supplements and hitting the gym 5 to 6 days a week. I was determined to put on some size and start looking my age. I remember my mom saying a line, "Stop wasting your money on all that crap. Fast metabolism runs in the family. Consider yourself lucky." I didn't listen. I was in the gym religiously, day after day, sometimes even twice a day. I tried supersets, split routines, negatives, you name it. I even subscribed to muscle magazines and started following the workouts the pros were doing. My friends said, "You have to lift heavy. That's how you build mass, man." So I did. They said, "You have to eat more. Any downtime you have, you should be munching." So I did that too. I was eating everything in sight and pounding down protein shakes like they were water. I got so desperate that I even hired a personal trainer at the gym I attended who promised me big results. He told me I could transform my body in 6 months if I followed his instructions. I thought he was the solution to all my problems, except I was broke now, but I didn't care. 6 months later, and I hadn't moved the scale one bit. Mom was right. My genetics just would not allow me to put on any weight. Ever. I was doomed by a superhuman metabolism that would never allow me to reach my fitness goals or gain the confidence I desperately needed if I was ever going to make a chick feel secure around me. Shopping in the men's section was just not in my cards. But I refused to spend the rest of my life living with the insecurities of not being respected. So I decided to take matters into my own hands if I was going to get the results that I wanted. I threw myself wholeheartedly into studying biology, nutrition, kinesiology, you name it. But most importantly, I questioned the pros who were hard gainers like me by concentrating on how they overcame their sticking points. After months of research, trial and error, and experimenting with different lifting approaches, I finally discovered the secret to massive muscle gains for skinny guys. I discovered an astonishing lie and figured out why I wasn't getting results. I discovered that what all these training routines by fitness gurus and bodybuilding magazines were actually horribly wrong for guys like us. These workout approaches are actually sabotaging our ability to gain any muscle. So why hadn't I ever heard of this type of training before? And why, if it worked so well, did no one ever write or talk about it? It was simple. These methods were unconventional and went against everything most of us have ever heard about building muscle. So instead of contradicting everything everyone had ever written or taught about building muscle, these muscle magazines and fitness gurus kept it in the wraps. As soon as I uncovered this strange weightlifting method, I was able to pack on 27 pounds of lean muscle in 12 weeks. Yeah, that was me 12 weeks later, and I couldn't have been happier with the results. I started turning heads everywhere I went. Girls wanted to be with me, and guys wanted to be like me. Compliments from friends, family, and random women were an everyday thing. My confidence was through the roof, and I wasn't just shopping in the men's section, I was popping out of my new clothes. A few of my buddies pulled me aside and begged me to tell them what I was doing. I told some of my buddies about my new weight training method, and they got even better results. In fact, one buddy of mine packed on over 30 pounds of lean mass and is now pursuing his dream of becoming a professional wrestler. As you can see, I'm very passionate about what this transformation did for my life, and I knew I had to share this discovery with the world. You want to know the secret to my success? I discovered a secret technique that allows you to set off anabolic triggers responsible for almost 100% of your muscle growth. Without setting off these triggers, you can kiss your hard work in the gym goodbye. The problem is, 99% of the common muscle building methods don't switch on these anabolic triggers for skinny guys. And it really boils down to just a few mistakes. So let's go over the 3 biggest mistakes I made and you're making right now that are destroying your chances of ever setting off these anabolic triggers. Mistake number 1. Lifting heavy weight for low reps to build size. Baloney. Lifting heavy for low reps triggers a muscle hypertrophy called myofibrillation. This type of hypertrophy will do nothing for size. This is the type of training used by Olympic weightlifters that are solely concentrated on remaining the same size while increasing strength. Take this guy for example. Day in and day out, he trains with heavy weights for low reps. If that was the trick to building size, then why aren't these guys giants? Simple. It's because in order to increase the muscle cell size, you have to fatigue the muscle. Fighting through that fatigue will set off an anabolic trigger that will double the rate in which your body builds muscle. The higher the level of fatigue, the more your body will naturally activate these triggers that will skyrocket the rate in which new muscles created while keeping unwanted fat off your muscular frame. Mistake number 2. Isolating specific muscle groups hoping for them to grow. They say isolation workouts help to really target and put emphasis on the given muscle. But let's look at what an isolation workout really is. It's simply a small exercise that targets one muscle group at a time. Now I know what you're thinking. Isolating a specific body part allows me to really contract the muscle and get a burn. And if I concentrate on that area, it'll grow faster. But let's look at the facts. Unless you activate an anabolic trigger, burn or no burn, your workouts are practically worthless. Isolation workouts do very little to activate these triggers that are crucial to our overall growth. However, isolation workouts accompanied by certain compound exercises in a very specific order will allow you to maximize the activation of these triggers. Think of your pecs as a house, your triceps as a hut, and the workers as the anabolic triggers. If you do an isolation exercise, that's like only waking 10 workers to build the hut and 10 workers to build the house. Now, imagine if you recruited 100 workers to build the house and then told 50 of those workers to build the hut. Both jobs would get done faster. Compound exercises are like recruiting 100 workers instead of 10. You get it? Mistake number 3. Believing that lifting heavy will increase size. Another big mistake skinny guys make is focusing on only a third of each lift. Let's take the bench press for example. 99% of the guys in the gym are focusing on lifting the bar off their chest. So the idea here is that the heavier you can lift, the more strain you put on your muscle, the more it's forced to grow. Wrong. Your muscles can't see how much weight's on the bar. They can only tell how much tension and strain you're putting them under. This approach is robbing you out of over 50% of your gains. Look at it like this. Out of a 10 rep set, most guys are using their muscle for about 10 to 15 seconds. But if you take advantage of the entire lift, you're working your muscles over 30 to 45 seconds, resulting in tripling the amount of anabolic triggers you activate while performing the same exercise. So how many reps should you perform to set off these anabolic triggers? What are these secret exercise techniques that will allow you to double your gains in half the time? And how in the world will you triple the activation of these absolutely crucial anabolic triggers using the same exercises you're already doing? I'm glad you asked, because I wanted to teach you this simple method of building massive muscle faster than you've ever thought possible that will give you the body and confidence that you deserve. Do it right and notice yourself growing bigger and stronger right before your own eyes. Your friends will be raving to each other about your new body, and you'll finally fill in your clothes in a way that will make it impossible for women not to stare at you with overwhelming lust. And you'll do it all without wasting your life at the gym, throwing away money on useless supplements, or lifting so heavy that you can't even train alone. How? It's simple. By following my simple, step-by-step, easy-to-understand Skinny Guy's Guide to Muscle Mass. Bony to Brawny. Because I know how frustrating it is to train hard with no results, I've made this program digital so that you can get started today and be on your way to going from scrawny to jacked now. Bony to Brawny has the most effective anabolic trigger activation approach created for hard gainers for amazing results quickly. But here's what this program is not. It's not a supplement guide. It's not a routine filled with ridiculous exercises that do nothing but make you look silly in the gym. It's not a seafood, eat food approach at packing on tons of fat just to move the scale. And it's not some recycled training program that requires hours in the gym. There's one reason I created Bony to Brawny. And that's because when I was lost, I wished that I had a program that gave me the ins and outs of exactly what it takes to build muscle for me and my specific body type. So I put together a guide that reveals the exact training that I followed to transform my body from skinny weakling to jacked fitness professional in 12 weeks. In this program, you will learn how to activate anabolic triggers to build muscle practically on demand. You'll start popping out of your clothes within weeks of starting. How to take advantage of every single rep and triple the rate at which you build muscle so that guys in the gym will start asking you for advice. You'll learn how to turn your body into a muscle building machine that will allow you to eat whatever you want, whenever you want, and still have your six-pack popping out of your shirt. Hot chicks asking to rub your abs will become a regular thing, so get ready for it. How to keep your body in a growing state to literally build muscle as you're sitting at home watching TV. A secret rep range that will promote muscle cell growth to get you bigger and stronger faster than any program you've tried before. Your family and friends might even ask about steroid use. And you'll learn how to promote the production of the granddaddy of all anabolic hormones that will allow you to pack on slabs of muscle while burning chunks of fat at the same time. Yes, you can do them both at the same time. And because I'm so passionate about seeing you succeed, I've even thrown in a few bonuses that will allow you to continue training at an advanced level to avoid the infamous plateau. Bonus number 1, hyperanabolic meal timing. A meal plan that reveals the most important time of your diet where you should be eating specific types of foods. The hyperanabolic meal timing guide provides a very specific formula and meal schedule that will allow you to keep your body in an anabolic state while avoiding catabolism and muscle wastage. Bonus number 2, the Advanced Lifts DVD collection. Once you're done transforming your body and you're looking like a pro, I'm going to reveal some advanced workouts created by and for advanced lifters like yourself. This DVD collection is jam-packed full of secret exercises that the pros don't want you to know, including a never-before-seen bicep exercise that will build a peak like Mount Everest on your arms. Bonus number 3, unlimited email coaching. You're going to get unlimited access to my personal email address where I can be reached at any time. And in case you're wondering, I will personally reply to you and no questions will go unanswered. By now I know what you're asking yourself. How much for the Bony to Brawny system plus the training DVD that goes over every single workout in detail? Yes, I'm throwing in an extra DVD that goes over all the routines you will be taught, and the hyperanabolic meal timing, the Advanced Lifts DVDs, and the unlimited email coaching. First, let's look at your alternatives. A decent personal trainer can cost you $75 per hour. That's $75 per week for just 1 hour. After 12 weeks, you will have thrown away $900 only to have barely moved the scale, if you're lucky. As a hard gainer, you have a very special need, and most personal trainers are just not educated enough to help you. Not only are these trainers not experts in building muscle for skinny body types, but their goal is to prolong your success by giving you just enough to keep you coming back. Now I know you can see how this can get real expensive and even more frustrating. Not to mention, I'm almost 100% sure that they won't teach you anything about anabolic triggers because they wouldn't benefit from teaching you how to fish, if you know what I mean. If you bought one tub of weight gainer, it could cost up to $100 for a 1-month supply. Over the course of 12 weeks, you will have spent over $300 to replace delicious meals with disgusting shakes that you can barely swallow without gagging. You will have added 5 inches to your waist while your arms remain scrawny and pathetic. And at this point, you'll be begging to go back to that unattractive bony frame that you started with. I mean, there's always steroids, right? These can cost hundreds of dollars per cycle. Problem is, unless your diet is 100% in order and your workout routine is on point, and you're willing to spend hundreds of dollars to cycle on and off, these dangerous illegal drugs are not going to provide you with much more than shrunken testicles, roid rage, bitch tits, back acne, and not to mention all the damage they're going to do to your organs. Yikes. So how much would you pay to have your arms and chest popping out of your t-shirts, become incredibly desirable to that hot blonde at the bar, turn heads everywhere you go, and to know once and for all that people will look at you as the man? So having the formula that will allow you to pack on slabs of lean muscle and have women breaking their neck when you walk by is an absolute deal at just $77. That's less than 2 hours of personal training. That's less than one tub of that worthless weight gainer powder. And that's less than one dangerous cycle of steroids that could potentially ruin your life. But I have a special offer for those of you who are serious about building muscle, because I know that you have the commitment that it takes to get incredible results, and because I'm on a mission to helping a certain amount of men to transform their bodies this year and collect as many testimonials as possible to help prove the effectiveness of this program. I'll knock $30 off the price if you act now. That's right. You're going to get my entire Bony to Brawny system with the instructional DVD and all the bonuses for just $47 if you buy today. All you have to do is click the big add to cart button below and you'll be on your way to sleeve ripping arms and a chest women can't help but rub now. Click now and get instant access to my entire system plus the bonuses and start right away. Not to mention, I'm going to throw in a risk-free 100% satisfaction guarantee. If you don't get more muscular, more defined, stronger, and more confident, I don't deserve your money. I'm so confident that Bony to Brawny will yield the results that you're looking for that if you're not completely happy with your progress within 60 days, I'll refund your money, no questions asked. You're still watching. That can only mean one thing. You need this program. You know that there's absolutely no reason at all to let this offer pass you by. You're one small investment away from respect, female attention, and shopping in the men's section. You've already been busting your hump at the gym for hours at a time, and I'm positive that you've thrown away money on supplements that did nothing for you. So I know you're serious about building muscle, and I know you're committed enough to achieve your goals. You're only missing one thing: the right information. The same information that has helped hundreds of other guys just like you to transform their body and lives forever. You know that deep down inside that if you pass this by, it'll bug you as you will lay in bed tonight alone, knowing you may have missed your only opportunity to get a program that works. Look, the program works, and you have nothing to lose. I do one-on-one personal training, and this is less than what I charge for 1 hour. This $47 price will go up. Once my clients see this, they're going to be pissed that I'm practically giving away the system some of them have paid thousands of dollars for. In fact, I may even have to remove the entire product altogether if I get enough complaints. So act now. Take advantage of this incredible discount or run the risk of having to go back to the same old workout routines that have done nothing for you. Let's look at your options. Should be a simple choice. Option 1. Do nothing. Go back to what you've already been doing and continue seeing the same dead-end results. Go back to being mistaken for the little brother, shopping in the kids section, and being looked at as a boy instead of a man. Relive the frustrations of jumping on the scale week after week without a single change ever. Soon you'll notice women are disgusted at your scrawny arms and bird chests, and you'll regret the day you missed your chance to transform your body. Option number 2. Try to figure out your own methods to stimulate anabolic triggers. But I can tell you now that you'll only come across the same misinformation that has been holding you back for years already. If you're lucky, you'll find a method that does 1/3 of what this program will do for you. Ultimately, you're just going to waste your time going back and forth between different approaches, and the next thing you know, weeks have gone by and you haven't gained a pound. Or option 3. Take advantage of this risk-free offer and get my Bony to Brawny system for just $47. Start noticing incredible changes in your body within days and feel your clothes fitting tighter around your chest and arms. Hot girls will be asking you out on dates because your body turns them on faster than an M5 on the Autobahn. And most importantly, those same women will feel protected around you. You're not dumb. The choice is obvious. You have absolutely nothing to lose with my no questions asked guarantee. Just imagine that in just a matter of days, you will have already packed on noticeable muscle mass that will have your friends and family asking you what you're doing. So go ahead, click the add to cart button below and try this program before too many of my clients find out and I have to take this great deal down forever. Don't let another week go by stuck in that bony body that you've had since middle school. Your muscle isn't going to build itself. Well, unless you get this program. So take action now. If you're still not convinced, look at what some of my students have said. One guy said, "I've always tried to gain muscle by following different programs, taking supplements, and practically living in the gym. That never worked for me. I started getting frustrated after not seeing results and was ready to give up when I came across your program. I'm definitely glad I did. I couldn't believe how easy your program is to follow and how fast I started seeing results. All the information you provided was very helpful and straight to the point. No unnecessary BS like in the other programs. I started gaining mass rapidly. Thanks, Align." Another student said, "I was 185 pounds when I started your program. Now, spending less time at the gym, I'm at 240 pounds and ready to start the cutting stage to compete in bodybuilding. After all the frustration of not seeing results in the past, never in my wildest dreams did I think this was possible. Now all my friends and even strangers at the gym ask for advice on how they can gain muscle too. I tell them the answer is simple: Bony to Brawny. Your program changed my life, Align. Thanks."